What's up, Facebook Live, YouTube, Periscope, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay. I know many of you are asleep right now, but I know there are those of you who, like me, are up. You're up and you're awake. And there's some things that are going on in your mind and in your spirit, and you're just trying to navigate it all, trying to pull it all into perspective. Good morning, Cherie. And I wanted to come on and listen, you all. First of all, I went to sleep very early last night. I was tired. There's a lot going on, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that stuff. But I woke up, right? I woke up, at some crazy hour, right? And so I've been up for a while and just kind of going through, catching up, trying to go back and comment on my birthday posts and, to acknowledge those people who have, who blessed me and gave me happy birthdays and sent me gifts. I still haven't made my big birthday post. And part of it is that this birthday was really emotional for me. And so, um, I feel like I'm going to cry a lot when I write that post. And so I kind of put it off and just hesitated on it. But I woke up and, as I was going through social media, there were just some things that God began to put in my spirit and to really press in me. And I want you guys to share this broadcast. I want you to share it for a number of reasons. One of which is there's someone on your timeline, someone who's going to see your post that won't see my post, but need this word. I mean, they need this word. This word is a pivotal word for them. And contrary to what we sometimes think, more people are paying attention to us and our timeline than we know. And so I want to make sure that that person, those people get this broadcast because, those of you who are connected to me, you get to hear from me all the time. Like I'm live all the time. I'm live regularly. And so you get to hear from me. But there's some people on your timeline that don't know me, that aren't connected to me. And their only connection to me is you. And so your presence, hey, Stacy, your presence can connect them to me. Now, I um I'm talking about tapping into your next, and I just want you guys to understand that tapping into your next is not easy. Now I'm going to move you all with me for a minute because a part of um, tapping into this next thing that God is doing in your life, this next season, is going to require you to um, deal with some things that you otherwise would not deal with. And it's required me to deal with some things. Not that I wouldn't deal with, but to deal with some things that have challenged me. I don't believe this. I don't have any coffee down here. Listen, y'all are gonna have to take a little journey with me because I've got to fix this coffee. I've been going through some challenges. You guys see me. You always see me. I'm happy. I'm excited. All the things that are going on. I'm trying to see where I have some coffee. So y'all bear with me. Um, but there's been some things going on, in particular with my body, and I'm so thankful for this coffee because it has given me a reprieve from some pain, from some aches, and part of the reason I'm up is there is just some stuff going on with me, right? So that's a shame when the coffee is upstairs in your room, right? But I have, and it's so crazy because When I began to talk about it just a little bit, I discovered that there were several people going through the same thing that I'm going through. So this is what's happening for me. Right now, I'm having a pain. And listen, this sounds so crazy, y'all. But it's a pain that it's in my butt, but it causes a pain to shoot through my leg, and it's caused some tingling and some numbness, right? And so, as I was talking to some people and doing some research, I began to discover that there is a thing called piriforma syndrome, right? It's similar to, well, it affects your sciatic nerve, right? Because the um, oh goodness, the muscle, it's a muscle, and it tightens up, and when it tightens up, it presses on the sciatic nerve, causes a shooting pain, all that good stuff. Well, I have been dealing with that. I've been dealing with it, and I've been dealing with it for a while, but it just got worse recently. This is what happens when you have all these cabinets. It just got worse recently, and so I um, I'm generally a soldier, so I normally am able to, soldier through stuff. That's what I do. Y'all know I don't stop. I just keep going. And it's caused me to pause, not stop, but to pause on occasion. And so when I start feeling the pain or the numbness and stuff, I discovered that when I drink the um, Capri CBD coffee, it helps. And it helps alleviate the pain. Now, I know I have a bag of coffee that's open. Listen, I'm gonna have to open this one. Um, and I'm telling you guys, when you get ready to tap into your next, the enemy will begin to attack you in all kinds of ways. And for me, right now, one of his big attacks is my body, And so he wants to strike fear into your heart. He wants you to be afraid. He wants you uh, to be nervous. And, with the numbness, this is what he knows, right? This is what he knows about me. He knows that I've had a lot of mini strokes. He knows that I had a hole in my heart repaired. He knows that um, the doctors said that I have an aneurysm on my brain. He knows that, right? And so he's counting on me being um, afraid and overwhelmed by those things. Well, see, what he doesn't know about me is that, well, he knows that I don't like doctors either. He knows that too. So, when I talk to people and they say you need to go to the doctor, I'm like, probably not going to do that, but I'm going to look and see. If I do that, y'all know that that's, it's serious for me because that's not my preference. So as I was awake this morning, because I was in some pain earlier, and I got up and I thought about this next season and tapping into your next, because I've been tapping into my next. Like, a lot of things have come against me because I'm tapping into my next. The next is never easy to get into, right? It's going to, y'all listen, I love coffee, but I love fixins. So I got to put my fixins in. And I just discovered this non-dairy coconut ready whip, right, for my coffee. I'm a whipped cream kind of person, right? And I love whipped cream on my coffee. I know that sounds so crazy. My sons are like, whipped cream on coffee? Yes, it's amazing. Hold on. Like, so as I've been tapping in to my next. Oh my gosh, Stacey, it tastes so good. As I've been tapping into my next, it's required me to use some new strategies. And one of the strategies that I've had to use is I've had to engage in more self-care. People who know me know that it's nothing for me to be up until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, lately I've not been able to do that. I've not been able to just stay up like that. In fact, when it gets to about 9, 10 o'clock, your girl, she's ready to tap out, right? Now, I promise I'll wake up early in the morning, but 9 or 10 o'clock, I'm ready to tap out for the night. And I believe firmly that it's my body's way of saying, hey, you got to get back in kilter. You got to get back in kilter. When you're tapping into your next, you need your body to work with you and not against you. You need your body to work for you. You need your body to be in alignment. You need your health to be maximized. And all of that requires you doing some things maybe differently than what you normally do. So for me, the good thing is that I've had a pretty good foundation of taking care of my body, especially over the last 4 months. Like, I've been very diligent about taking my vitamins, about detoxing my body, about taking my energy metabolism booster. And this is the crazy thing. And this is the other reason probably I've been going to sleep earlier. Probably for about the last 4 to 5 days, I haven't taken my energy booster, my metabolism booster. And so I do feel a difference. But I know this. I know that as you're preparing to tap into your next, there are going to be challenges that you encounter that you didn't count on. I'm talking about, like, you're going to have to deal with things that you forgot was a thing in your life. And you're going to have to deal with it in a way where you deal with it like for good, like where you overcome it. It's not going to be one of those things where you can just act like it doesn't exist, act like it didn't happen, act like it doesn't bother you. You're not going to be able to do that. It's going to require you to authentically deal with your feelings and your emotions. And as I've been going through my transition, I've had to do that. Like, I've had to deal with what I feel and deal with how it's affecting me and deal with how it's affecting those that I love, right? And so I can't get to the next using the same old strategies that I've used for 54 years that kept me not really dealing with my feelings of loss or disappointment or those things. Like, I can't do it this time. This time, there's some stuff I got to sit in. I love my friends because my sister told me, she said, listen, sis, yeah, you're going to feel some stuff. Feel it. Allow yourself to feel it, process it, and go through it. Because I got really good at pushing everything down. I just push it down, push it down, push it down, push it down, push it down. Don't deal with your emotions. Don't deal with the hurt. Just don't deal with it. And so because of that, it's like things would happen and it would trigger something in me. It would trigger something because there was some stuff that I had pushed down that I didn't deal with. So this time I have to do it differently. This time I have to really process the pain. I have to face the pain. I have to look it in the eye and say, I see you. And it's okay that you feel that pain. It's okay that you feel that disappointment. It's okay that you hurt. My friends have been telling me lately I'm human. And y'all know that's offensive to me. That's so crazy. It's offensive to me. Like, it does something to me when people say I'm human. Like, it does something to me. I'm like, which seems really crazy because I am human. But I associate humanity with, weakness. Okay, you're human. That means that you know you're gonna feel stuff. You're gonna get tired. I'm not human. Maybe that's that superhero complex taken to the extreme, but like, I literally feel like anything that happens to me in life, that I should be able to deal with it, overcome it, and it shouldn't cause me not even to stumble. Not even to stumble, like not fall. I ain't even talking about falling. I'm talking about stumble, like the stutter step. No stutter step. We ain't got time for that. Like gangster mode. Got to get it done. Make it happen. That's what I do, right? And so as they've been telling me that I'm human, as I'm experiencing these human moments, right? These moments where I find myself where I can't necessarily do something, because I'm feeling something right now in that moment that I need to process and I need to deal with. And so when we're getting ready to tap into our next, baby, listen, it doesn't matter how many next come if you never deal with the stuff from the last. You gotta deal with the stuff from the last. You have to face it. You have to address it. You have to be willing to be man enough, woman enough to look it in the eye and say, listen, okay, this is what I'm feeling. And this is why I'm feeling it. And just know, yes, like just wanting to get to the next level. Not, come on, yes. See, but let me tell you what's at the root of that for me. I honestly believe that at the root of not really like sometimes processing my emotions, I won't say dealing with them, because I deal with them to an extent. But processing my emotions fully is I'm afraid that if I allow emotions to start flowing, that they're going to overtake me. That if I allow my emotions to really come forward, that they'll overwhelm me and I won't be able to come back from it. And so it takes a certain amount of courage to deal with your emotions, a certain amount of courage to face those emotions, a certain amount of courage to process them. So when you're going through and you're getting ready for your next, you have to be willing to do that. Did I wake you up, baby? Okay. All right. You got to be willing to process them. You got to be willing to deal with them. You all, let me tell y'all something. Gone through too much hell to ever have to repeat the cycle again. I've gone through too much hell to ever have to repeat the cycle again. I just refuse to repeat the cycle. So that means I have to face it. I have to deal with, I have to process, work through, take it head on. Like I have to. Anything other than that is going to result in me having to go through it again. I don't want that. I want to be able to make the transition. I want to be able to go to my next and be in my next fully and totally present with having processed my last, process the pain of the last, process the disappointment, process all of it. And I'll be honest with you, because I think it's important that we have people in our life who will just be honest. Hey, Pastor Sean, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? This is going to sound so crazy, and some of you might not get it, but sometimes the anxiety and the stress of your life, of the situations that you're facing, will impact you in ways that you hadn't intended or hadn't planned on or hadn't anticipated. And I don't want y'all to think that I'm just trying to sell you on something, but I'm going to tell you that I am so incredibly thankful for Tava and for this Caprice coffee, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. I know it's going to sound crazy, but y'all just bear with me for a minute. I want y'all to really hear my heart. I was telling somebody, people don't understand that, Tava and these products do so much more than help you lose weight, give you vitamins and energy. Like, they do so much more. And when I've been in pain or when I've just been overwhelmed, I could drink a cup of this coffee and it helps to calm me down. It helps to balance me out. It helps me to breathe. Now, I know if you've never had it, you may not get it. But if you've ever had it, you probably understand what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it helps me to breathe. The deep breath that allows you to release the stuff that you're feeling. And it has been amazing to me And that's why I'm so passionate about these products. I'm so passionate about this journey because I know I can't be the only one out there that sometimes gets overwhelmed, but you still have to keep going, who needs a moment to just breathe and relax. But your body and your mind will not allow you because it's always racing. Like it's always racing. My mind is always going. I'm like, my body is always on 110. And anyone who's been around me anytime, you know that to be the case about me. And so for me, I need help just calming down. And this coffee does that for me. So when I'm in pain, it helps alleviate the pain. When, I am in a place where, I need just my mind to just relax. And I just need to um, embrace where I am right now in the moment. Like get that deep breath. It does that. It even allows me to deal with Diego making these disrespectful comments, right? Without going off, right? And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this coffee and for these products and this journey. I think about my life and I remember when I was probably at close to my heaviest, right? And I felt fat and I felt unattractive and I felt, now let me say this, I'll say I'm always going to be cute, but it doesn't mean that I'm always going to feel that, right? And I remember making the decision to start my journey to take my health back and to really get fitness as a mindset and as a lifestyle. And so I've had to create a lifestyle that would prepare me to tap into my next. I've had to give myself permission to pause, permission to just sit down and have a cup of coffee, permission to get up out of the bed and come fix me a cup of coffee and add the flavored creamer and whipped cream, right? Which to some people would be doing too much, right? But I have to give myself permission to do that because I need it. I need it. When you're on a journey and God is breaking you through, you're at your breakthrough. Like it's the toughest place. I promise y'all, it's the toughest place you'll ever be. It's at the point of breakthrough. It's like when you're giving birth and you start pushing and you're trying to get, like, because once you get the head of the baby out, like the rest of the delivery, like it's easy. Like they just shoot on out, right? But it's getting past that most difficult part of getting the head of the baby out. And when you're going through breakthrough and you're getting ready to tap into your next, that's what it's like. Like you're having contractions. Everything is constricting around you. Everything is squeezing around you. But it's not squeezing just to squeeze. It's squeezing to help you push. But you can't fight against it. If you fight against it, you delay the process. If you fight against it, you slow down the process. If you fight against it, then what you're going to do is you're going to make something take longer that literally could have been over. And so what you have to do is you have to make a conscious decision to not allow that to happen. And that means that you got to breathe. But what happens when you can't breathe? What happens when you don't have the ability to just stop and breathe because you're so absolutely overwhelmed? And that right there, that's where this coffee comes in. For me. For me, like, it doesn't matter what else is going on in the world. If I pause for a minute and fix me a cup of coffee, oh my God. And allow it to do what it does. It calms me, it relaxes me, and it allows me to breathe. It allows me to breathe in a way that allows me to continue to push and to deliver that which God is pushing out of me and birthing through. And to do it in a state of calm. In a state of calm that allows me to work with my body and not against it. Some of you are in positions where you get so overwhelmed by everything in life and you think something is wrong with you. It's not that something's wrong with you, it's just that sometimes you need help. And I can remember times in my life where I had so much going on and there was so much coming at me that I would literally have to go and get medication just to be able to process it. Now, the thing about me is I hate medicine and I hate doctors. Like, I don't like any of that, right? So when I get to the point where I'm like, oh, I need help, I need medicine, I know that it's serious because I just don't like it. I don't like taking it. I'd rather not. And for me, what's happened with these products is I've gotten the benefits that I normally would have gotten from medication. And I'm not making any medical claims or anything, but I'm telling y'all, this is how I've been able to get through what I've been going through. And some of you may be saying, well, Dr. V, what in the world are you going through? Because I haven't talked about it. Nah, for real. But let me just go ahead and say it. So in July, I left home. I left my husband that I have been married to twice. And um, I did it not because I wanted to, but because I need to. And I needed change. And it was a very difficult decision. And it hurt. And I had to keep going. And um, going, building my business, going, building my school, going with my grandchildren, with my kids. I had to keep going, moved into a new place. I absolutely love my new place, but it's been a lot, y'all. It's been a lot. I want my next more than I want the comfort and the convenience of what I've known. I want my next more than I want to not have to press through. I want my next so badly that I'm willing to make the difficult decisions and go through the pain and process it and keep moving. And yet, I still, in the midst of that, have to be able to breathe. It's so funny because, people um, looking at me and following me probably would not know that I was going through all that, right? Because I do my life, I live my life. But you all, when I tell you that what's really gotten me through all of this has been this coffee. I know it sounds so insane that coffee would be able to do all of that. But the CBD in this coffee that I would not go buy. I want you to hear me. I would not go and just buy some CBD. I just probably wouldn't do it. I mean, probably for a number of reasons, right? Part of which being, well, I don't want to look like I need marijuana. And we normally associate CBD with marijuana, and it's not marijuana. Um, there's no THC in it. But I just know that it helps relax me and alleviate some of my anxiety. And it's helped me. It's helped me to go through all of this and keep my sanity and not make crazy decisions, and do reckless stuff. Like, and be able to sit and process my emotions and feel them and go through them and not freak out. Coffee. So wow. So I'm grateful for Tava. I'm grateful for Kenny and Shantae Lloyd. I'm grateful that this product released when it released. And I'm super grateful because God knew that I would need it now. Like I would need it. Not just that I would want it, but that I would need it now. He knew what was going to be going on with my body, with the pain and the numbness. He knew what was going to be going on in my life with the separation and the move and all of that stuff. Like God knew all of that. And he orchestrated things to work for my good, you know? And so when you hear me encouraging and inspiring people, know that it's coming from a very real place and a desire to impact the lives of people and help people get through the tough things of life, because the reality is life is tough. And it's not for the weak and the faint-hearted. It's not. Like life will eat you up. It will swallow you up and spit you out. But you have to be able to get to the place where you can process what's going on in your life and you can do it in a way that is healthy. I'm just going to be real with y'all. In the absence of this, like I get it. When you're going through stuff, you want to dull the pain or numb the pain. So I get why people drink, why people smoke weed, why people pop pills, or why people have sex, right? Because sex also does that. I'm in such a place where I want to make sure that I'm dealing with the things in my life in healthy ways. And this is my healthy way of dealing with the stuff that's going on in my life. So when you're ready to tap into your next, you can expect constriction. You can expect things to tighten around you. You can expect things to just like be like, ugh, and then it'll relieve for a minute. And then it is the labor process. It is God's way of pushing out the greatness that's in you. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to stop the process prematurely, because then you're going to have a whole baby and a whole purpose still inside of you, and it can't live there forever. Like it has to come out or it becomes poison, right? And I think that's what Langston Hughes is talking about in the poem that says, what happens to a dream deferred? It can become like a bitter poison inside of you. So as you're tapping into your next, you guys know that the constriction is designed to push out what's in you, the greatness, the purpose, all of that. Know that there's going to be pain associated with it, but it's not pain that you can't handle. Look at it dead in the eye, face it, acknowledge what you feel, acknowledge what you're going through, and then find healthy ways to deal with it. For me, it's my Caprice coffee, right? It helps calm me and soothe me and alleviate pain and like all of those things. And it tastes freaking amazing. And I love coffee. But if I didn't love coffee, I'd drink it. You're next. It's so amazing. I want you to pause for just a moment. And I want you to think about the things that God has promised you. I want you to think about like God doing everything he's promised and you walking into it and you seeing it and experiencing it and what it feels like and the lives that you'll impact. I want you to hold on to that image and hold on to that feeling and know that on the other side of the constrictions, on the other side of the contractions, on the other side of the pain, you're going to be able to get to your next. When You tap into your next when you are able to fully tap into that next from a healthy place. You've worked through, you've processed through the things that are going on around you and in your life. You felt your emotions, you faced your emotions, and you progressed through your emotions. Then you're going to be able to get to the other side. Now, it's up to you. It's up to you whether or not you do, right? God always gives us choices. We always have options, but what I need you to understand is that if you will allow God to do the work that he desires to do in you, and you will work through that with him, right? As an active participant, a willing participant, and not fight against it, your next will absolutely blow your mind. And you will know that you know that you know that there's no going back. There's no going back to the dysfunctional behaviors that you've used in the past. There's no going back to dysfunction in relationships. There's no going back to unhealthy habits. There's no going back. And if that's you and you're ready to just press through and push through, I want you to know this. I believe in you. I believe in you, and I know that you can do it. And because I know that you can do it, listen, I want you to know that you have a cheerleader in me. I'm over here cheering you on, rooting you on so that you get to your next. I want to see you get there. I want to see you get to your next. I want to see you prosper. I want to see you have the life of abundance and overflow that God desires for you. And he does desire it for you. And I want you to know that it is not only possible, but you are able to experience it and you deserve it. Not because you're so perfect and you're so great, but because God created you with it inside of you. So those things that you want to accomplish, those great feats and exploits that you want to accomplish, you absolutely can accomplish them. Now, whether or not you do is totally up to you. But if you get to the point where you feel really anxious and you're overwhelmed and you don't know and you just need to be able to breathe, this is what I'm going to say. Grab your cup of Caprice coffee and all the fixings that you like. Even toss on some whipped cream. Take a moment to breathe and to relax. You guys, your next is waiting for you. Tap in because you deserve it. Listen, you guys, I love you guys to life. And if you want to get some Caprice coffee, get with me and I'll tell you how you can get that to help alleviate your pain, hence your anxiety, your stress. Like, the healing properties in CBD are absolutely amazing. So if you're interested, let me know. I'll help you with that. But I love you to life and life more abundant. Be absolutely and incredibly blessed. Mwah.